Good morning, Bitcoins. We're supposed to be having a World Crypto Network town hall meeting, but no one showed up. So I'm just going to have a meeting anyway. Looking at the Bitcoin clock, the block height is 3266.78. The Merkle root starts out with 4614 and ends in 9C3. This episode is also on my Patreon account. Look, it's me in the past. There's a bit of a delay. It's a Patreon exclusive or to subscribers of the World Crypto Network because no one is here. No one is here. But I've got the live stream open and people claim that they want to be here. So what if they wanted to be here and I close the live stream? That's why I'm bringing you a Mad Bitcoins exclusive. The editing of a Mad Bitcoins video. Hopefully without too much cursing, etc. And there will be no music. Here goes. Enjoy the show.
Bitcoin.
People are calling this a show now.
Bitcoin inside sex. Bitcoin accepted inside sex. Sign. Sign inside. Bitcoin accepted inside sex. Sign. Sign inside of sex. Sex inside. Good morning, Bitcoins. Today is Good morning, Bitcoins. Today. Good morning, Bitcoins. Today is Wednesday, October 23rd at 9:56 a.m. in Seattle, Washington. Nobody can say no to the mad in Mad Bitcoins. This episode is brought to you by Tim from Roberts and Roberts Brokerage, a trusted name in precious metals, and they accept Bitcoin. Learn more at rrbi.co. Here are today's Mad Bits. Bitcoin accepted here sign spotted inside of sex and posted on Reddit. Sean's Outpost can feed 150 people with only half a Bitcoin. Donate now at seansoutpost.com. No, marijuana use doesn't lower your IQ. Washington Post. New study from University College of London trumps the Duke University. No, marijuana use doesn't lower your IQ. Washington Post. New study from University College of London trumps the Duke
What
University.
is this? This is crazy.
Bud.
Are you looping this or what?
No, I'm editing. This is how editing.
Ah, okay. You're doing live editing.
Oh, it's supposed to be screen sharing too. It's apparently not.
No,
Everyone
I'm not
can see
getting
me
that.
slurping my tea live. Enjoy the live tea slurping show. You have no choice. You have nothing else to watch.
Bud continues to unravel.
This is what editing is like.
Patrick Byrne. Cryptocurrency will be bigger than the internet itself. Yes, yes, and yes. Communications, music, media, these were small worlds compared to the world of finance. From where Bitcoin is now to where Bitcoin will be in less than 3 years, the world of finance is just not ready for. The things we can do now that takes them massive. The thing.
There it is.
84. The things we can do now that takes them. The Silk.
Hey Theo, so what's going on?
Nothing much. I was just, pretending to work.
Cool, man.
No, it's just actually, I finished a song, and I think I might actually upload it. But,
Sweet. It's like techno music.
Well, yeah, kinda. I guess I made like a drum and bass song.
You're so thrilled about it.
We can do now.
No, it's just I usually make it doesn't matter. I usually make different stuff, and I kind of don't like when it's like, oh, I'm gonna make a genre number 5 song. It's kind of like painting by numbers, Like, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's here. I can show you. I can show you my little program. Let me do a screen share, and I can show you my program live. Actually, I am pretty excited. I was doing a good job of mastering. It's not as easy as you think. It's not the same as mastering a video exactly. It's a little different. Can you see my little screen?
Sure.
Yes, I gotta
go get the dog.
But I think nobody can hear the music right now. Right? You're just seeing my screen. So what I did is I put all the drums in here and the bass here. That doesn't sound right.
All right, I got all the dogs.
All right.
Now it's ready for a meeting. Now that we got dogs.
But I don't think that you can hear my music, right?
I cannot hear your music.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what I'd have to do. I'd have to fix something, but it's okay. But it looks cool. It makes a nice picture. It's like colors. These colors are cool, So that's the compressor. I'm trying to master the compressor. Usually I just make stuff extremely loud and distorted, and I don't give a shit. And it's more like the art of being really, really, really loud. But this is really, I've been really getting obsessed with these compressors. So I routed all the drums into number 1, and it has its own little compressor. And then I routed all the bass into this one. This has its own compressor. And then I routed all the other songs in here, and it has its own one. And it does make a big difference. You can really hear a big difference. It's pretty cool.
Nice. So yeah, I hijacked the meeting so I could do editing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, okay. We've got somebody.
John's with us. Maybe. He hasn't said anything.
Okay. But I think that if we don't have a lot of people, then we can't really have a town hall, right?
I had it all set, so I was like, I can live broadcast the editing here. People love that.
In less than.
They do, but instead I'll have Theo fill. Theo, tell the people what's going on at the World Crypto Network.
In the World Crypto Network?
Or tell us about the next meeting.
Well, this is a town hall meeting, but I think that nobody remembered. I didn't really remember, but I got reminded twice. So
the reminder system works.
Yeah, that works. And then I was busy mixing down the song, and I was and I thought, okay, well, I just pressed export as a WAV and an MP3. Let's see what's going on in the internet world. And then I was like, oh yeah, didn't we want to have a meeting? So I went over to the YouTube channel to see if it had already started, and you had that the standby picture. So I just opened that and waited till I heard a sound. Oh, we have people at the town hall. 4 people now.
Putting my jacket on, getting serious.
Uh-oh.
It's Mr. Black and White.
Yeah, my camera won't zoom out now. It's only like really close. It's really weird.
Is it? Did you set the resolution down? I sent the res down on mine, and now it moves. Like I can move around again, but I look all closed up because it's closer resolution. But at least it works again. Mr. Chris, can we hear you?
Yes, you can.
All right. Even though you're in the 50s.
Yeah, I like it here. It's good back here.
We get to use effects now?
Suddenly it's on the table. only if you get to look like a Godard film.
I have black and white too, but it's okay. I won't copy.
So have we got some standards worked out yet?
We're not going to work on standards in a live meeting. It's like nonsense.
Yeah,
Is there an ISO standard proposal on the GitHub yet or not, so that people can fork it and change it? Or
we're generally agreed with that, but no one actually uses GitHub.
yeah,
It's more for like a Google document type solution where people can just type in their suggestions and not have to know code first. Like
I have a GitHub account. Does that mean I win something?
Yeah. No, you are right. GitHub's a real pain in the ass. It wasn't really designed for that kind of fluid change of natural language.
Yeah.
It's okay if you already know how to use it, but otherwise it's useless.
It's a thing you can say though. You can be like, "It's on my GitHub."
Yeah.
You can
Exactly.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually not that.
It's on.
It's not that hard.
GitHub. It's set. Like, but to normal people, they're like, "What does that even mean?"
Yeah.
We have question and answers. No, we don't have any questions. That's good.
So what's the agenda? What are we covering? How long have we been on air? About half an hour?
I've been editing my video live.
Oh, cool.
I don't know. I think I joined like 3 minutes ago or something, so I don't think. And Thomas was alone before that, just doing something.
Just editing his video.
Just editing.
Yeah, live.
Get back to.
It was kind of like art. It sounded really weird. It was kind of like these loops, these like sound loops, kind of. It was pretty weird. It was cool.
You could see all my mistakes and my coughs.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I like that.
Problems, like It's gonna look good when I'm done editing. But yeah, I put my jacket back on so we could have this meeting.
Cool. I'm looking through to see if I can find those standards.
No, we don't need to talk about standards live on the air. Bunch of nonsense.
I thought it was your idea.
Well, I don't know why you'd want to share them with the audience. You're like, hey, audience, this is sausage, and this is how sausage is made. And now the audience doesn't want to eat sausage anymore. So
Is that how it works?
if you tell them how the placebo works, they'll be like, oh, they're using a placebo. They're talking about today.
I didn't know we were making. I didn't know we were making pharmaceuticals.
Dude, everyone's making pharmaceuticals. They talked about it on the Bar Rescue Show. They talked about the weights of the chairs, and they said this chair feels heavier, but actually weighs less, and that's psychologically powerful.
Yeah.
But now that you know that, it's ruined. Now you're going to think of all these heavy chairs, and you're going to be like, these heavy chairs are fake heavy. They're not actually really heavy. Everything in here is designed to make me buy more things. Now I don't want to buy anything.
Okay.
Okay, besides that, what's on the agenda? I mean, we were talking
sunglasses.
Everyone wants me to wear sunglasses all the time now, or what? Oh, shit.
The internet has spoken.
I don't know.
It's from the
That's cool.
future.
Yeah, but I've got. Yeah, it's really from the future, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I was watching a Kindergarten Cop on cable, and that movie makes no sense if you don't know that Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator. Like, he's just an insane cop and he's like busting all this stuff up, and then they're like, "Hey, insane cop, you should run a kindergarten." Good movie.
Yeah. All right. So basically, sunglasses are okay, and don't pick your nose, and the shaving thing. I mean, I'll try my best.
Well,
but
nah,
I get
you just don't shave on the air live.
Hey, that's yeah. No, I get like 5 o'clock shadow like every day. I gotta like shave. I'd have to like shave in the evening. It's really annoying because most of the shows are in the evening for me.
I see smoking. I see dress. Got to wear a suit. Why not wear a suit? Apparently, it says why not wear a suit?
Why not?
Suits are cheap at the Goodwill or the thrift shop. Suits provide free gravitas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even Colbert is taught well. If you look, have you seen that homeless video where they give the homeless guy a suit and then he goes out and begs for money and everyone gives him money, and then they take the suit away and he goes out for begs for money, no one will give him money? Our society trusts people in suits, so why not wear a suit?
Yeah.
I think it fits some shows, but not every one. And some people already wear a suit. I mean, Thomas wears a suit a lot. I mean, I wear a jacket sometimes. I don't know. I think some other people wear suits sometimes too. So I don't know.
They told me a story once about this lawyer who wore the same suit every day for trial, just over and over again. He didn't want people to be thinking about his clothes, but he still wore a suit.
We could all wear sunglasses.
I'm fine with that too. No, we shouldn't wear sunglasses unless we're being silly. And that's the thing. If you want to be serious, have the audience take you serious, then you act seriously.
Well, I never act seriously.
Would that go for Crypto Coin News, that little puppet guy? Does he have to wear a suit?
Yeah, I think he does wear a suit.
He does wear a suit, okay.
You mean behind the scenes when he's like controlling the puppet?
Yeah, he's always wearing it.
But wait a minute, does the puppet have to wear the suit? Or do puppets not?
The puppet's already pretty well dressed, I think.
I think it's show to show. I mean, come on, some shows it's okay. I don't know. I don't really. In the meantime, has there really been a lot of issue, or I don't know what the.
No, it's just a good idea to. Once you have standards like, okay, let's say that we had a call from James right now. Now that we have standards, we know what to do, and the more we develop these standards, the better they'll be. And
yeah, but I didn't really do much for the clothing standards when James called. I just said, "Oh, well, I guess I could just turn it on. I'm going to turn it on right now." I didn't think,
that's fine for the first 15, 30 minutes of the live stream, but after that you have to be like, "Oh yeah, we're on TV. We should keep acting like we're on TV. We should tell people the price. We should tell people the other."
No, that stuff is okay. I'm okay with that.
It's all the same thing. It's all,
Yeah, but that's not about clothes. I think we can separate the clothes thing. I think that's not really going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think reminding people. I like the idea of reminding people and keeping I don't like dead space. I totally get what Tom is saying about dead space. That's horrible when that happens. And professional news anchors do their best to try and fill up the dead air. But also, I like what Tom is saying about not talking when you've run out of things to say. I think we're all guilty of that, and I like that. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure about the dress code because I think that could shut a lot of good people out. I think a lot of good people could be turned away just because they can't afford a suit, or they don't. Maybe I don't even have a stable living situation. Where am I going to put all these extra clothes? So yeah, that would obviously discount me. I do have an old suit, but it's at my parents' house. I'd have to always be there in order to wear it. Obviously, I could do that for that one episode of the Bitcoin group on that Friday, but that's because I wanted to go out my way to do that. But if I'd have to carry that around with me everywhere I went, I'd be a bit annoyed, I think.
Well, then let's just talk about the other stuff, fill in the space. That sounds fine, right?
Yeah, sounds cool.
What else? And plugging other shows. I think that now that Thomas has brought it up, people plug the other shows more.
Yeah.
That's good. It also fills space, and it reminds people, because sometimes you forget. And Thomas plugged the town hall yesterday and today, and that's why I remembered.
I mean, I really like the bit about the drinking. Water is okay, but if possible, best not to be drunk on air. Maybe a beer here or there is fine. No, that's fair enough. Can we be high on crack cocaine?
According to the movie Anchorman 2, no. They try it like in the studio on CNN Live. They're like, no, we're gonna do. I'd play the video for you, but of course we don't have the rights. But if you search on YouTube, you can watch them use crack cocaine live.
Can you have a rooster in the background? Like
Yes, rooster. Dogs. Okay. Taxi.
Do you have drunk people on air? Well, we did have drunk people on. We had a drinking game once, and you know what? That was one of our most popular shows. It's probably the one, apart from the Andreas one, the epic New York Heroes one, it's probably the one that most people come up to me in public and ask me about. Like, where did it go? What happened to that episode? It's like, I might release it again, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's like a special edition. You know, with the bootlegs, I swear to God, the Beatles and Bob Dylan were collecting bootlegs. And like, don't release that, don't release that. Release that 30 years after we retire so we can like live in our mansions and stuff. That's what I'm doing. I'm keeping like old copies of shows. I'm taking them off air and I'm keeping them scarce just in case we become really famous. And then I need to prop up my lifestyle in 30 years.
Well, and there are plans for a possible World Crypto Network pizza party where we would all order pizza at the same time. We'd open it up. And then, of course, after you're having pizza and drinks, you'd want to sing a little karaoke live on the internet. We could even keep it not live. We could just keep it for us. But we have all the options with video chat.
Well, I'd like to take this opportunity to break one of the rules because it's anarchy live on air. So this is me.
Yeah. But we
You
really
smoking crack now or what?
Libertarianism, yeah. Anarchy, yeah.
It's okay. No, it said it's okay to drink beer on air.
Oh, it is? Damn it.
Yeah.
Breaking any rules?
You didn't break the rules. And if you're just breaking the rules just to break rules, you know, that's what's the point, you know?
It's not libertarianism. It's childish. Uh-oh. That means that all of that thread.
Oh no. So, are you guys gonna come to DogeCon on the 31st in Berlin?
No, almost certainly not.
Okay.
That's Halloween. Woo woo.
Yeah, I know. It's a good excuse.
We
You can
should,
dress like a dog.
we should have a World Crypto Network dress-up party, and then you could report from DogeCon live. See, and like.
I could probably. I haven't asked. I could probably report from there live, but they have a live stream. So, but I could. But I can report from the networking and barbecue that's after the whole event. And their live stream probably isn't going on. That's probably way more interesting than any of the. Well, don't tell anyone, but that's probably way more interesting than the other stuff.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
Tell anyone.
Right? Yeah. Don't tell anyone.
Conferences are all about networking.
Yeah, that's what it says. It says, you know, this person talks and this person talks. Then it says, 10 o'clock, networking and barbecue. And I'm like, oh, that sounds good. So then we.
I'm like, maybe we can play some LAN games if they have a network. Play a little Doom and Quake. So let's see, we've got some questions.
Okay.
One bitty bit says, Theo is in badass super coder Sonic Mastermind mode when he puts the shades on. So everyone loves the shades, Theo.
I know. I don't know what I've done. I've created a new character or something. I gotta figure out a name for him or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Mastermind. We've also got Bit by Bit who says, wear a suit, because every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man. ZZ Top. That should be good enough reason for you. The whole you know, How I Met Your Mother thing, the whole suit up thing, like that doesn't do it for you guys. We've also got Armando who says, keep the glasses, the future's bright, referring to, of course, the future's so bright I'm wearing shades. Armando also says he saw a Bitcoin ATM last night that buys and sells Bitcoins. He was going to get some cash, but the machine wanted his cell phone number and a finger scan. What's the deal? Where's the anonymity in that kind of ATM? And that's what we've always said is the problem with Bitcoin anonymity comes when you want to trade Bitcoin for fiat. That's where the problem starts. So yeah, that ATM is no doubt ruled by the rules of your country, which probably rely to get a know your customer, a KYC, sounds like cover your ass, but KYC is know your customer. And that's what they need, and that's why they're forcing you to give away your fingerprint, which is, of course, the most sensitive biometric data, in exchange for, I don't know, $20 worth of Bitcoin, $40, a little cash for the weekend. So yeah, it has made a lot of the ATMs unusable. A lot of people are also reporting incredibly high fees at the ATM, so it is rather inconvenient to get cash from an ATM. Chris, what do you think about Bitcoin ATMs?
Yeah, it's not just that. It's not just cover your ass. That's part of it, but it's also the fact that they're made to do the FBI's policing for them. They're the eyes and the ears on the ground, and they're there to report any suspicious activity because the police lack the manpower. So that's the other reason. And I've got a friend in London who runs an ATM, and I've talked to him for ages about it. He charges 6% above spot, and he's like, that's as low as it can go. There really are costs involved, like, that robo coin or whatever it's called, that machine just breaks down constantly. He has to spend a lot of time like being next to it, like in that cafe. He works from the cafe pretty much, because he has to be there in case it breaks down. And so yeah, I totally get why they charge so much. So that's not my preferred way of trading. Like, I think that's just a PR move. I think the reason we had those ATMs, it was just posturing to the establishment. Look, we can make these things too. But it's the equivalent of having. Do you still have those telephone boxes in the US? We have like maybe a dozen left in the whole country.
They've all been ripped out here, but it's funny. I was watching the Hong Kong video this morning, and James was walking by a whole bunch of them. So they still do have them some places.
Yeah. So I think ATMs will be like those. I think eventually they'll just dry up.
And it makes sense, too, if you're going to pay with your phone. Why would you have to go to the ATM to recharge your phone? That doesn't make any sense. You just go out into the world, have your money right there on your phone.
Mm.
So what else is going on in this World Crypto Network meeting?
Well, this is supposed to be a town hall. It's supposed to be a town hall meeting. I love the rooster. We should always have the rooster on. Can we record that and sample it and then just have it on in the background?
Yes, but you'd have to download this whole meeting to get it. So
yeah,
it'd be a lot of work.
I have no idea what's on the agenda. What is on the agenda?
Mose has downloaded all of our episodes, all 150 gigabytes worth, and has put them up on BitTorrent. Like, the guy is a legend. And he set me up a GitLab as well, like it's like your own version of GitHub, but just for you on your server, so that I can do my blockchain investigations in case I get kicked off of GitHub because I'm taking up too much space. And he's just been brilliant. He's spent a lot of time with me, helping me out, as one bit by bit as well. Helped me out a lot with the microphones. Thanks so much, because I did buy some microphones, and now our sound quality is a lot better. And so I really like the fact, even though we're not making a lot of money, we are getting a lot of support in other ways. Like, people are contributing their time in any kind of surplus stuff they've got, and maybe that's the idea. Maybe that's what we do, is we try to get more people involved who want to be able to help. They can't necessarily donate money, but they can donate time and resources. And also, what about Roger Ver? What about all these early adopters into Bitcoin who have tens of thousands of Bitcoins at their disposal, who are like funding these bullshit, like, pump and dump schemes? Like, how about we get a little bit of love from them? I mean, what's 50 Bitcoins to Roger Ver?
I guess so. It's 50 Bitcoins.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I agree.
Yeah, they probably got rich, though, by not giving it away.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
well, fuck it then. I'm just going to get drunk.
That sounds like a good idea, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Just about. You're a bit quiet.
Okay. No, I just tuned in from the show. I didn't see any town hall meeting agenda, so I wasn't sure what was going on.
That's okay. You're not alone. Yeah, so I don't know what is on the agenda besides drinking beer on air, and you should look nice, don't pick your nose, don't be drunk.
No, I really like the suggestions that Tom's coming out with, because this channel should be about helping people improve. right, as broadcasters. And the thing is, what we've done really well in the last feels like 18 months, but maybe only about a year now, not even, is we get people who've never been on air before. In fact, the thing you spend most of your time doing on World Crypto Network is helping people get familiar with how to go on air and muting your microphone and just being professional. And if you watch our videos from the beginning and you watch it through, you can see it's getting better. And I think that's what it's all about. And so I think these open standards are a good idea, so long as everyone has an equal voice. It's not, as long as it doesn't sort of come across like one person's just trying to kind of do it. Everyone needs to be able to get into that document and say, right, here's what I think about this. Here's what I think about this. This would be nice. I see what you're trying to do here, and here's what I think. I think that would be really good. But the reason I feel that we've had a big drop off recently is because everyone, what's that song? Money's Too Tight to Mention. If I could sing, I'd be singing that right now. Because I think everyone's starting to feel the pinch, and everyone I think was in our industry was relying on the Bitcoin price going up, and then it didn't happen. And as a result, everyone's quite poor, and everyone's got their dependencies, and some people are in debt, and some people have got mortgages to pay. So, I totally understand why people are doing it.
And there's a lot of jobs that people can do part-time. People can contribute in their spare time. They can do, like Philippe does a Photoshop every week, and that's cool. The crypto Photoshops keep going. You don't have to do one every day. And the same thing for shows. People need to do shows every week, do a shorter show, do a leaner show. I don't know. There's options to these things. I'm still editing my show now. We also had a nice gift from Change Tip, who helped me buy my new camera. It's around here somewhere. It's actually beeping at me now. It's part of its new feature is the beeping. But yeah, you guys will get a kick out of this if you didn't see it in the live stream. Here's my old camera, right?
Oh,
so,
cool.
Perfectly good, standard camera. Here's the new one. It's like a miniature little toy version of the old one. Like, it's incredibly small. Like, all the features are the same, but it's just, I don't know, a little itty-bitty toy version. You pick it up and you're like, that can't even be the real camera. But it is, and it shoots just the same, and I had to upgrade to the new version of iMovie against my will, and then I had to upgrade my Mac against my will, and now everything's flat, and you have no design choices. The whole OS this time was like, we have chosen flat, and now you will have flat.
Yeah.
You've seen it, right, Chris? Have you
I've seen the screen grabs. I'm not upgrading though.
It's snappy though. I gotta say, it's fast. I hate everything about it, but it's fast.
So I'm working with Thomas here in the UK. He's the guy that does he won the Blockchain Award for the best documentary, and I'm working with him on the documentary. It's very, very, very good. If you look up I Am Satoshi, he's on YouTube channel I Am Satoshi, and he's also on Twitter as well under that same name. And he's quite a quiet guy, he's quite modest. He doesn't really kind of like promote him, so he's not really into that whole kind of I am thing, big I am thing. And he's been helping us out in London with mics and everything. Like I was saying, we've got the Zoom mic now for the London events, which is much better because it captures the whole room and not just like a little bit of the room. But also we were thinking of investing in some kit, and actually some people locally did offer to give us money to buy cameras, proper cameras, like the one that Tom's got instead of the webcams, because all the live streams we do at London at the moment are on webcam. And it's not bad, but it doesn't enable you to zoom in. And particularly now that I'm friends with University College London, which is one of the best universities in the world for cryptology, they've got weekly cryptography meetings. And now I'm pretty much in there in terms of I'm friends with them. I met them that one time. I live streamed it and think they were happy with that. And so I think I'm welcome to go back there anytime in the future. And it would be really good to do live streams, every Thursday from there. Because they've got some really smart people. But in order to do that, it might be nice to get some proper kit. The only thing is that when you want to live stream on YouTube using that kind of equipment, the price jumps up quite dramatically because you've got to buy lots of devices that transcode the image down from the camera to the type of codec that YouTube wants, and it's quite fiddly. Or you can bypass all the costs and you can just go with livestream.com. which will allow you to use a more sophisticated camera, but then obviously won't be on YouTube anymore. So that could be an interesting topic that we could discuss.
What's the advantage of live streaming it versus recording it on a camera, going home and uploading it?
That's a good point. I did actually say that to the chap on the email, Nicholas, and I said, well, the only advantage to being live is that you get a conversation, more of a conversation, and they can actually send in questions. I mean, of course, nothing's stopping us from streaming it from the webcam and also recording it from one of those devices, and then just bypassing the need for the codec and, you know, all those other gadgets and things. But yeah, you're right. It's like, but think about Ethereum. Like, those Ethereum meetups are really good because the audience can get involved, and then they feel like they're there with it. And a lot of people just have us on in the background a lot of times, and then they're just kind of there. And every time something will happen, they kind of hear it, and they then jump on the Q&A.
I do think we do surprisingly well with the Logitech webcam and with the Yeti mic.
Yeah.
When I went to that meeting in San Francisco, they recorded it for a live stream that didn't work that well. The microphones didn't work. It was a pretty big fail. And then the live stream went away, and it came back like 2 or 3 days later on the YouTube channel. So there's this huge gap, and that all the interest pretty much drained out of the event. Whereas if I had brought my mic and brought my camera, which I did the day before at the Bitcoin meetup, it would have worked fine because I'm used to bringing my mic and my camera to a meetup. So I think we have a pretty good solution right now. I think adding in the taping it for later, that might be your quality bump if you want to go for this long term. And think of that as like that's the archive, and the live stream is, like you said, for the conversation. And we can do that with existing equipment at $200. Anyone that wants to join up at this level of quality, like, you get this big mic, it's really heavy in your backpack, so that's an issue, heavy backpack. And I can't show the webcam, but it looks like a little Logitech HD webcam. And the cam's about 74, the mic's around 100, less than $200. So, what do you think, Chris?
Excuse me.
I agree. Hello?
Chris, what
Yes.
about the WCN website? Couldn't you stream it up to there on a
Well,
higher quality?
Yeah, you can, but you wouldn't go through YouTube anymore. Oh yeah, actually no, you could, but you would have to go through livestream.com, which doesn't have the requirements for all the extra equipment. I believe that's what I found out when I looked up last.
No, just thinking you're saying about the higher quality web stream has issues via YouTube. It's more fiddly, but if you loaded it up to your own website, then you could put a link on YouTube telling people to go there for a higher quality.
Yeah.
Well, and we can put the higher quality onto YouTube after the fact. It's just going to take a day or two to get it loaded up. So.
Yeah. So I think it would be good to get higher quality cameras, because I think it does disrupt the I think people do get a bit annoyed with the quality dropping in and out and stuff like that. What I found is the most important thing is the sound. If they can't hear it, then that really will get them to switch off. But yeah, it's not good. Like if you're really getting into a conversation and the quality goes down, I think a lot of people will bounce from the video. But if you've got something that's really good quality, and also it's good for people like Ethereum and BitNation and all these other projects, I think they like the fact that someone impartial comes and records the event rather than them doing it. Because if it's someone impartial, A, it lends them a bit more credibility, but also it means that you get much more of an interesting conversation, because it's not just Ethereum people watching it, it's people that just like crypto in general, or maybe they're new to crypto. We get a few of those as well who watch our channel, because we're now considered, apparently, according to Reddit, the de facto channel to go to for crypto news, right? And that's largely thanks to Tom and this whole idea of like just do it live, right? Everyone else in the content space before Tom came along was recording everything, and then they would record something and they wouldn't release it for like a month or 2 months later, and then it was like old news. But then like Tom's like, oh, let's do these live streams. And I knew about the live stream. We were using it at Feathercoin, but then it's like, oh, you could just do this for like 8 hours. And where was it? Bonavest did these like 8-hour-long YouTube things. And people really do tune in and they skim through it and, you know, they tag it and they put the time codes.
And
so I think
testing 8-hour live streams after we tested it on World Crypto Network. I did it till Wednesday on Mad Bitcoins, and it works. I've got the troll box going. So I've got a chat thing, people are interactive, people rewatched the old Andreas New York defense hearings because they hadn't heard of it, they hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
So to them, it was like new Andreas, and quite frankly, everybody's into Andreas like they're into the Beatles. They want to hear all the cuts, they want to listen to it over and over again. There's specific Andreas only fans that don't care what the rest of us say. They want to hear Andreas, and it's not just that. It was a chance to, I don't know if you like it or not, to monetize our repeats. We have a whole big library of shows now that are kind of rewatchable, but they're more rewatchable if you have like a chat and your people are with you, and that I put the price on there so they know that it's not the real price. And when it goes up to 1,200 and it goes down to 200, I mean that's it's an old episode of Mad Bitcoins, but they're not necessarily going to watch it. And I think next week I'm thinking about better playlists, more playlists, starting to do theme days. We're going to rewatch 2 or 3 Bitcoin group episodes, and then this comes back to a whole nother level of interactivity. I tried to do this, but you and Andreas weren't around. But I was like, we'll get us in the chat watching us on the repeat. And then the people can ask us questions. What was it like? How are you thinking? And they were already doing that during this one. They're like, did you guys watch it live? Did you have notes? Like, how did you prepare for this? And, generally we watched it, got all incensed, went back over the points that pissed us off the most, and, Chris and Andreas went off. And I was like kind of in the middle, just letting them do it. And, people are fascinated by that kind of behind-the-scenes stuff, which, to us it might seem not to have a great value or anything, but, if you were interested at home, we can provide that, and maybe they'll stay and just keep the stream on in the background, which, whether they know it or not, provides more views, provides more monetization, a couple of ads here and there, a couple quarters in the bin. Maybe they donate to the QR codes. I put the QR code on screen. I think we can really do it. We can go. Theo's right. We need a schedule. We need reporters. We need shows. All these things. But technically, we can just go live 24/7, 365.
No, I think the live thing is cool. I tried to do a kind of like a weekly collage, but it just didn't work. So remember, I had the idea of like once a week, like the highlights, because really funny and interesting stuff happens on the live shows. And if someone was willing, I'm not willing to download, like these 1 or 2, 3 hour like files. It's just really big.
Did you try it with just the highlights on?
Yeah, I did, and it didn't work on. I couldn't get the sound really good, and it was really annoying. It was horrible. It just didn't work. Like I just tried to do it live, like you said, in the Hangout, and I had tabs and screen share, and I had like the stuff queued up. And I would go from each one, and then I was even going to download me doing that and like cut the like little mistakes out, but I was trying to figure if anyone knows the YouTube editor is really annoying. I was thinking that they're already on YouTube. There is a YouTube editor, then you wouldn't have to download it, and then you could just cut a few things together, but I was kind of afraid because on my channels I've done it and I've kind of messed up some videos before, so I was afraid to like go into the World Crypto Network one and like accidentally chop something up or whatever, because it gets kind of weird in there. But I think it has a potential. I'm just not sure how to technically do it, and it wouldn't be that bad because sometimes people have already timestamped the really interesting parts anyway, and you would just go back. And you'd have to put a limit on it, like, I don't know, 2 minutes or 3 minutes or something maximum for each one, so that it cuts up some like really interesting parts. And you could have a few like bloopers or whatever. Like you think that the live stream is turned off and the people are like or whatever. You could also include the funny stuff too, but you could also have the real interesting conversations or the real interesting arguments that happened. And you also see like all the people's reactions. It's really funny if you did like a whole replay of that, I think.
I think this would have to be someone's job though, wouldn't it? Go ahead, John.
One of the advantages of replaying the shows, especially like Andreas and stuff, is people like myself that come in to learn about crypto. We don't maybe know about all the older shows, and some of these things, even when I've watched them, I didn't fully understand, but after 5-6 months of watching videos, I can now look back at the earlier videos and really understand what was said at the time. So I think some of those shows are definitely worth highlighting for a repeat watch.
At least on the Mac, Theo, what I do is I use Soundflower, which routes my sound back in the output into the input, and that would allow you to play the YouTube videos with the clip show type thing. The problem's going to come when you want to switch back and forth between the microphone and the Soundflower, because you pretty much have to go into settings and change it each time, go into settings, change it each time. It's not exactly back and forthing, but you could play clips and have a clip show that way.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I mean,
Well, what do you
I'll
think
try to see if it's technically possible. But if anyone is better technically at doing something like that and they feel like they want to, because they wouldn't really have to do, if they don't feel like being on air, they wouldn't have to really be on air that much. You know what I mean? They would just be like editing, or I don't know. I was just wondering if anyone anyone want to do a lot of video editing for almost no money, then, you know, just sign up, please.
They could do the time stamping, and they could just be a like a countdown host. It's a pretty sweet job. You're like, and the top 3 videos are, and you know, get ham up into it. I mean, it's fun. The option. So.
I like it. What was that software that Jamie suggested? I forget. What it's called.
Manycam? I'm not sure.
Would that not work?
It would be on a PC, I think. Manycam's on the PC.
Oh, is it really?
On the Mac, you can just use Soundflower and route your sound back in, and that's what I've been doing for the live streams.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Is it only for the PC? Oh, Windows says Windows and Mac.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so that could be an option. I mean, from a quality point of view, it's probably better to have it pre-edited before the show and then just cut between it. That would be good. But like I was about to say just now, I think this is a job for someone, and if we can make the business case that, you know, that people actually want to pay to see our shows, shock horror. But if we can prove that they do, then that's a job for someone. Like, that's something you would be paid to sit down and do. But the problem is, it doesn't look like anyone is prepared to pay for our shows. We've got bigger problems.
We can't pay for the meta jobs before we pay for the main jobs. Like
yeah, you're right.
The main product.
Okay, folks, listen, I've got to cut out. I'm going to have to go and get back to visit somebody in a cancer hospital today, but I will try and get... You've got something on Friday, Chris, about the BitNation?
BitNation, yeah. Tomorrow night we're doing the world's first global blockchain passport, or whatever. We're not calling it passport, we're calling it some kind of blockchain ID. Blockchain ID.
What time is that?
6:30 UK time, and I think you're like 6 or 7 hours ahead, so it'd be about midnight.
I'll try and hook up with you on Skype, Twitter, or something. I'd like to participate in the internet chat. So I will catch you over the weekend. Have a good show, everybody, and I'll see you on Twitter and YouTube. Okay.
Sweet.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Yeah. Ciao.
Bye-bye. So how many people watch you?
17.
17. Knockout. Absolute knockout.
Got some more questions. Got a comment on my Podio account, or on my Patreon account, the other P. There's another P word that describes it as well. Got one of the comments here says that Lloyds, the bank in London, is going to cut 9,000 jobs amid the online banking shift. Bitcoin.
What's that sound that Nelson makes? Ha ha.
Yeah, it looks bad for Lloyds.
Oh, poor Lloyds.
It's bad for all banks.
Poor middlemen. I feel so sorry for the middlemen.
Got a couple more questions. We'll just go through these right now. Armando asks, is the best way to cash out Bitcoin anonymously and tax-free via Tor, PGP, and the darknet? I wouldn't say so. I think the best way is local Bitcoins, or your best friend that wants $100 or your other buddy that wants 20. Here and there, that seems to be the most true, and that's what cash is supposed to be. Cash is a very small amount of money. You use it for your basic things, and that's what cash is for. If you're going to move a large amount of money, in this country at least, the IRS are going to want to know about it. So you should probably tell them. But hey, look at that. That's a little KYC there for me.
The comments are going to be great about that. Thomas is in favor of the IRS.
He's on the air, not saying ridiculous and libelous things. Oh, damn him. Like you libertarians.
Okay. Yeah, I think that you're right. Local bit. Just don't use all this. Don't make it keep it simple and just use local bitcoins. That's pretty straightforward.
And don't try to move $37,000 at one time or $300,000 at one time, or move smaller amounts. Be reasonable, and that's not intended to be a structuring comment. IRS, even if I talked to that regulation guy, and he's like,
"Are you giving tips on how to launder money live on air?"
He's like, even telling people anything is structuring. It's like you really can't give any kind of advice on money. So I'm certainly not going to do that. So. See.
Also, tomorrow night we will need somebody to man the camera because I'm going to be quite busy in front of the camera doing all the PGP signing and uploading. So, well, the plan at the moment is that Suzanne's laptop will be doing the stream, but obviously we can't log in as WCN, so I wouldn't have time even if I did. So if someone could just man the camera and then just invite Suzanne on air, and then I'll film through her. But I'm just going to need someone to control the camera, which when it's on, and if we break up, maybe cover for me on the air. But it's going to be a big deal. We've had a lot of interest in this global passport blockchain, but we don't know what we're calling it because we can't call it a passport. But some kind of blockchain ID system. But I've had a lot of interest. A lot of people have raised issues on the GitHub, and it's this kind of thing that I think might be good for us as well as a channel. This kind of hacking, where we haven't gone out and raised a bunch of money. We just sat down about a problem and thought about a problem and gone, how can I solve this with the tools that I've got? What can I do with what I've got right in front of me? And that's exactly how I did it. And now I'm doing this blockchain investigation. And that's going really, really well. I'm now speaking to employees at Moolah, and they're actually I'm talking to them on Skype and stuff, and I'm taking witness statements, and I'm corroborating it with the transactions on the blockchain. I'm building a timeline of events from the timestamped evidence bundle in GitHub, and I'm encrypting anything that's got personal identifiable information with my PGP key. I'm putting the signature of the encrypted content on the outside of the content so that you can know that I knew about its about its content at the time, and I'm not just making it up as I go along. So we can do more of these kind of hacking things where we just hack the blockchain without the $2 million fundraiser, and without having to hire a whole bunch of devs, and without having to hire 3 times as many marketers, because that's what most of these things are. It's 2 devs and 10 marketers, and just kind of cut out all of that crap, because that's what the Wright brothers did. Everyone was trying to get a plane in the air. Anyone could get a plane in the air. That was not the problem. The problem was keeping it straight. And that's what the Wright brothers worked out. It was you need to keep it straight, you bunch of idiots. And so they built their own wind tunnel, and they did a whole bunch of stuff, and then they just fucking did it. And I feel that's what's happening at the moment with this technology, is people are just trying to achieve too much too quickly. They're not breaking it down into bite-sized chunks. And actually, what they really care about is their lifestyles. They want to keep their lifestyles up, and so they try to manufacture a job that they think is going to pay them to live in the nice area and to have the nice wine or whatever they've got used to, and they don't think they can live without. And I think, no, let's just hack this shit. And I think you can do that. So that's tomorrow night. And I think more of those would be very good, because then it will encourage other people to do the same thing.
It's nice to see. It's nice to see an idea without a countdown timer. Token,
oh god!
I don't understand how you can do it without a token.
I just sold 250 fee shares of my exchange on Twitter. They paid with ChangeTip. It's great. So it works. It works. You just have to announce pre-sale auto. You make money, and people buy it. Someone said they want to diversify their crypto holdings. Where can I invest in your exchange? And I told them, yeah, no, just via change tip, and it worked. So now they have 250 shares of Bitmogo Asset Rush X.
Well, and that's the thing. Let's really talk about this model. I've been thinking about doing a commentary on this, but I'll talk about it publicly first. Why not? Okay, so your model is everyone invests early, and they get a whole bunch of these tokens, like Token X, right? So you get a bunch of Token X, then your Token X early investing period ends, right? And you go into phase 2. And now in phase 2, the general public is going to hear about Token X. And you guys, the early bag holders, are going to go out there and promote Token X because you have an interest in Token X now. So this whole second period is about lining up the suckers, right? You think that you're in Group A, but in Group B, you're really gathering the suckers. So you gather enough suckers, and then suddenly it goes into phase C, which is sell Token X. This is when the really early people get out first, right? Because the really early people, they're not ideologic. They haven't been raised having bag holders. They're not in Group B. They're not part of the suckers. They're the really early smart people who sell at the top. So they all sell at the top. The value starts going down. Suddenly, some of these early people, maybe they sell. Maybe some of the suckers, like, oh, we're only going to lose our investment. We're only going to cover half or whatever. And then at the end of it, you have this totally decimated project with all these tokens and all these random hands. Why did they do this? Why did they crowdfund with these destructive tokens that brought in a bunch of suckers, earlier brought in a bunch of bag holders, and left us with a bunch of crushed and depressed people? How many times do we have to do this? I know it's like a lottery, like people think it works, they think it's going to make them rich, but if you think you're going to get rich and everyone else around you thinks they're going to get rich, you're all a bunch of suckers, right? Someone else is running the scam. So are we going to keep doing this?
Well, I think that now, not only on World Crypto Network can you learn how to launder your money, we can also instruct you how to conduct a sophisticated pump and dump.
I just pretty much did. It's pretty much that.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You pretty much described it. It's called it's a longer one, but it's more of a sophisticated one. I don't know. I think that the whole token thing, could be used in a good way. It's just that at the moment it's too much, as you described, unfortunately, and that's the reality of it. And it doesn't really have a lot to do with all this crowd selling and anything. Does anyone have a template for the Scrolly site? So I can just, make one really quick.
There needs to be a generator for sure, like inspirational photo, close-up of butterfly, inspirational photo, landscape, like.
I want to. I want to get like some nice picture. Like I want to make the exchange, but I'm going to put like star asterisks that say, that it's entertainment only at the bottom.
Yeah.
But I mean. No, I will have that. I've got to.
Well, that's the joke, right? The joke is that you just don't read the small print, and they know you don't read the small print, and everyone knows.
You can't read anything on those pages. Like I went to a FAQ recently on one of these pages. I'm not going to say which one, and each little question you have to click on. So if you're really interested in reading all the FAQ, you're going to have to click like 36 times. So I'm clicking my way through it. It's just, what is the point of this scroll web page, this big flat frame at the top? I thought we'd killed frames. Like we had killed frames, and like now
I have less of a problem with frame. Everyone does the scrolly because of people using telephone, mobile phones and tablets and all that, and they think, oh, I've got to put everything on one page, and I've been tired of the everything on one page model for a while.
Those A-name tags, the little anchor, the little hashtag, go to the page. That was like the very beginning of the web. They brought that back. They brought frames back, and they've made these pages for people that don't read. Like I was trying to read the Bitcoin Foundation website recently, and it was gray text on a white background, and that just says to me, do not read this. Like, do not come here and read this. That's not what this page is for.
So anyway, well, I was thinking, you have the little asterisks everywhere, and it's only for entertainment. But I could really make a token for it, but it would just be for entertainment, But I mean, if people want to buy and sell them, they can. But they know that it's just. I hope they know that it's just entertainment. But maybe that's too big of a risk. I don't know. But like I said, someone already bought some shares that didn't even exist, so. Why not?
It's called
anyway,
It's called Twitter Bootstrap. That's that scrolly thing that everyone uses. Anyway, I have some breaking news, which is that this is the design by Richard Scott. And BitNation are the first people to fork my project on GitHub and successfully execute on it. It was an open source project. Anyone can get involved. And they were the first people to do it. And one of their designers has just sent me this on Skype. He didn't ask me to show you this. I'm showing this of my own volition. And so this is what we're going to use tomorrow. I really, really like it. I like it a lot. Looks really cool, looks really edgy. And so this is what we're going to be producing tomorrow. Her name actually isn't Jenna, it's Janina. But yeah, it's just a draft. And Janina's going to be the first person in the world to have one of these blockchain ID cards. And probably a few other people as well. I don't know how long it's going to take to do the whole thing. So
no, I'm making one right now, so I'm the first one. First ever right here. Yeah,
you can make one, but it doesn't count unless you sign it with your PGP key and have someone witness it and send it from a commercial.
Oh, I did it all. I did it all. It's all right. I'm the first ever.
So this is Richard Scott, and you should definitely follow him on Twitter. He's a talented guy, and I'm really proud of your work, man. That's very good job, Richard. Cable Studios. At Cable Studios on Twitter.
See, we got.
If you guys witness me do it, does it count, or does it have to be in person?
Well, not really, no, because you sort of have to be there really for it to count. I mean, that's kind of the point.
No, it's just, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm just. Okay, yeah, no, I like it. Now, this is my paper, you know, and this is the first ever. No, I was just joking. I wanted to be the first ever, but I don't think I'm going to be able to, because then you can say first ever, and that's really important. But no, I really like the whole ID thing, and I think I like that it's possible to have an ID for a pseudonym, that you don't have to use a real name necessarily. You can if you want, so that makes it really flexible. You know, for people that don't want to have their real name, they just want to be Batman or whatever, they can be Batman.
Batman.
Yeah, but I mean that's cool, because there's a lot of different uses for it, possibly, not just one, you know, singular use, and that's what it opens it up to, in my opinion. So that's cool. I guess we're going to see a whole lot of different ID cards if you can fork it like that. Now, so I'm going to make a prediction. We like to make predictions, right? So this is the prediction. So we went through a phase. There's a lot of, you know, in the whole hype thing and investing, blah, whatever, there's a lot of phases. There have been a lot of phases. You know, we had the anti-ASIC phase. We had the nation coin airdrop phase. Then we have, like, now we're going, and then all of this happened before it became popular, but now we're in the, you know, 2.0 token phase, more or less, and this, like, you know, everything is crowdfunded with tokens and dividends. Okay, and now you have, you know, I forgot the name of the philosopher or her historical person that created Fire and was like, oh shit, now I created Fire. So now every project.
Prometheus.
Yes. So now every project is going to include these IDs in their project somehow. You know, and it's going to be like the developer gets one, and if you participate in the IPO, then you get your special IPO ID, and then if you buy a token, you get like the bonus Cool Club ID one, and then you get the I don't know what. I mean, it doesn't mean the idea itself is bad, but I see a big potential for it, for people to possibly use it like that too, or maybe other good ways. But that was just I think that you could see a wave of projects copy something that's successful and something interesting and try to add it as a cool feature to make people think they're going to get rich like that. Anyway.
That is the important part of any project, making people think they're going to get rich. You can get rich with my project. No, my project.
It's very difficult to be rich and honest. It's not impossible, but it's very, very hard. The more money you make, the more likely it is that you're not honest.
I'm told on Twitter that all the big money is going to be in side chains. Side chains.
That's just another thing. I mean, side chains are interesting. There's like this thing, dual pegged side chain, whatever the hell. whatever. I think I'll fork Counterparty into the side chain and make a token, and then inside of the side chain, I'm gonna have my blockchain ID or whatever. I don't know what the. It's just another topic. It's an interesting topic, but it's just a new thing. So what's happening now is like there are these groups of altcoins that are like, okay, we're gonna join together and make like our mega group and join all our chains together, and then we're going to get rich too. So the idea is kind of cool, but I don't know. I'm really skeptical.
I hate to spoil the future by reminding people of the past, but didn't Feathercoin do that already? They formed together with Phoenix Coin and WorldCoin, and they had the Unox altcoin network, and they were going to pretty much do all the things that we're talking about.
It wasn't Feathercoin's idea, actually. I think it was someone at Phoenix Coin that came up with the idea, and then it all went horribly wrong because you had that scammer that got involved, and they made off with a whole bunch of money. These two guys, and then it was like everyone just forgot about it and moved on. And this is what I'm sick and tired of. Scammers come in, they rip a load of people off. Mark Karpelès, Trade Fortress, Real Solid. God, the list goes on and on and on. Bitcoin Talk forum is just full of these graveyards of scams of people that have lost their life savings, lost all of this. Now, yeah, of course, it's what the fuck were they doing sending money to these people in the first place? But what pisses me off is that these people just keep coming back over and over and over again. And I want to create a world where their very existence is so taxing. I want them to be miserable. I want them to feel like, oh my God, this is so hard living. I can't afford anywhere to live. Like, I can't make any money. I'm such a scammer. It's so difficult being a scammer. I want to make it difficult to be a scammer. Right now, it's too profitable to be a scammer. And I just don't like that. I don't like that it's getting easier and easier to tell lies. It's getting easier and easier to be believed because people just want to believe in things they're told. They don't want to check it. They don't want to scrutinize it. Hashtag apathy. Selfie, apathy, selfie. Was it Candy Crush, or whatever the latest thing is? I don't want to think. Don't make me think. I just want to sit down and be entertained. Yeah, so I want that.
What is Candy Crush? What the hell is Candy Crush?
It's just a stupid game. It's just like a game on a phone that people play.
Is that like the Cinnamon Challenge or something, or what is that?
It's like Angry Birds or whatever. It's like one of those tedious games that has two rules. Nothing happens. You're just in the same place on the screen, and a slightly different level comes along where they just change one thing, and then you've got some different characters and stuff, and you're just sitting there dying. You're dying as you're playing this, right? Like that's actually happening, right? You're dying, and you're just sitting there dying. That's it.
So
that's the whole game.
It's just about, you're just talking about people wasting time because they're playing a game.
Well, it's hedonism. It's called hedonism, and it's basically if you're a psychologist or you study psychology and you study game mechanics and you study reactants, then you know how to manipulate people's behavior because you've read all the research papers, and now you need to make a living, right? Because you need to pay for that mortgage, you need to pay for that flat. So you go get a job at one of these game designers, and they get a developer and a psychologist together, and you sit down and say, right, how can we manipulate people? We've got 7 billion human hours per hour. That's that time burn rate globally at the moment, 7 billion hours at our disposal. If we can get 1% of that playing our game, we can send them ads, we can charge them for power-ups in the game, we can do all kinds of things, we can monetize, and then we can get our really nice loft apartment in Shoreditch, we can start playing the stock market, getting some really cool lifestyles. Meanwhile, everyone else is dying. Do we care about that last bit? Not really, because we really like the loft apartment in Shoreditch. That's what we really want. And it doesn't really matter if we're hurting people that we don't know and don't have to look in the eye every day, right? That's okay. So, look, it's not a crime. You can't be arrested for it. Therefore, it's perfectly moral and perfectly ethical. So go get a job at one of these game manufacturers and try not to think about the effect you're having on the wider world. That's what you should do with that time you spent going to university. Pro tip.
Wow.
So, it is.
I'm really happy now. Well, Yeah, that's fine. We can do it. I made an arcade. I just forgot the URL to it because I made a few games, but I didn't make them in the way you described. I think it's kind of the complete opposite of that. if anyone actually plays them and goes through it, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah, I
make
don't
more
know. Do we
things.
have an agenda or something, or what's going on?
Yeah, we do have an agenda. We're talking about blockchain passports, and this
Okay,
is
that's
Philippe's
cool.
contribution. We have Philippe's contribution, which is really nice, and I think he also had one that was in black and white as well. But for some reason, oh, there it is.
Oh, here we go.
So you should send us your contributions. So this would be a World Crypto Network branded passport, and actually it doesn't matter. It can be branded any way you want. That's the beauty of PGP key signing. You can make it. It only needs a certain key information on there, but once it's got that key information, you can pretty much put whatever you like in there. So keep those coming. That's a good effort by Philippe. I really like it. I like all his work.
Not
Okay, so-
sure what else is going on. We talked to James this morning. Theo was there. And sounds like the protesters are digging in for a long protest. They were building larger barricades. They'd added wooden pallets to the barricades. And they were bringing in tents. Unlike before, they had just a few tents. They were mainly sleeping on the ground. Now they're all going to sleep in tents. Story developed. I don't know, you guys want to go through the questions again, or do you have more things to add to the agenda?
Yeah, I was reading that actually. Yeah.
All right, Armando asked, where's Franco and his ATM? I know Franco has a Skyhook ATM that he'd hacked to use Franco coins, but now I'm being told that Franco's working... Let the dog out, and he barks. Franco's working at Ribbit Rewards. Ribbit Rewards is a system, it's supposed to be like eBay, but you could get some rewards coins at your eBay. Again, it has all of the rewards coins questions, and they have a mining system through proof of stake where you could earn rewards coins by mining rewards coins. So we'll see how that goes. We've also got Francois wants to make his own blockchain passport. Well, I think you can fork the project, like Chris is saying, at GitHub, and you can make your own design. If you actually want to get a blockchain passport, it kind of sounds like it's a key signing party. You have to show up to a very specific party where they're making them, and basically everyone there will be making them. So it's a very specific thing right now, right, Chris?
Yeah. So there is such a thing as a key signing party, which I have. Where have I put that? Yeah, key signing party here, which is on Wikipedia, everyone's favorite resource. And yeah, this is just a party where lots of geeks, mostly guys under 30, let's face it, get together and exchange and sign one another's PGP keys. And what they're doing in that picture is they're writing down their fingerprints. And your fingerprint is something I could tell you my PGP fingerprint, which is like a shorter version of the big long key that you download. Then I give you that and I say, right, that's my key to you face to face, right? And then you go home and I email you the key, and then you check the key's fingerprint. And if it matches what I told you, then you can be confident that really is me, because you've met me in the meet space. You've met me offline without all the extra stuff. So yeah, you can come over here to github.com/Mr. Chris J /world citizenship. It's had 20 stars now. It's had 7 forks. Not bad, since I've only really promoted it on the channel. I haven't really done a whole kind of crowdfunding bullshit thing. And yeah, it's just using available tools, and I plan on doing more kind of hacks like this, just using available technology. It is going to be a bit cat-handed at first when we do the first few meetups, because guess what? PGP software is really hard to use. There isn't much of it out there. I'm using a commercial implementation by Symantec, which I'd rather not do, but I've got to get back into the command line and all of that. So I highly recommend you get into it. We do need to work. It has been quite a lot of issues raised, and one of the issues that's been raised is from Democracy saying you can't call it a passport, because essentially that people could be arrested for having fake passports, right? If the authorities don't understand the technology and they see you presenting this thing called a passport, and they look at that and they go, that's not a passport, that's fake, you're presenting a fake ID. So really all a passport is, and this is something Bitcoin SG raised, is that actually, where is that? Privacy issue, Sybil attack, I think it was the Sybil attack one. Essentially, a passport is something that allows you to pass from port to port, right, literally. And I like this. I like this idea that you can go to a locality, to a city-state, be recognised there in that city-state. For that city-state to have a prominent member or some kind of community leader or business in that town that it's well known for, sign your key publicly and upload it in this fashion, and then it will enable you to pass from port to port, because that kind of resonates like a beacon across the geography. As soon as you have it done, that gets distributed across the land over the blockchain, and then you can pass from port to port because everyone on this particular journey trusts your city-state. But yeah, so he's raised some issues. I encourage you to. I particularly like ethical issues. I particularly like suggestions about the name and stuff like that, because the language we use is very important in order to get everyone to understand it. And this is actually part of a complex series of ideas that I've been coming up with over the last sort of year or so, and now it's starting to come together. I'm also doing the Moolah investigation. There's a number of private Git repos that I haven't even uploaded to GitHub that I'm currently working on, which I've been timestamping to prove that I came up with them at the time I did. And this is my latest, and I've had a lot of interest in this one. And anyone can do this. You can come to my page. You can go to the journal. I have a journal on most of my Git repos where I leave contemporaneous notes on how I'm feeling as I'm doing it and what I'm thinking about. And you can actually go directly to certain parts, like you see here, where it's got a little link. You just click on that, and then you can cite that part of that entry into that document. It's really, really cool. I think everyone should be using GitHub, frankly. I think they should fork GitHub and make it for writers rather than coders.
That would be very cool. They should do that. Got another question about the Saxo Bank discussions yesterday about Bitcoin. This is the first I'm hearing about it, so if you go over to Our Bitcoin, they have an article that CEO Lars Sear Christensen, Saxo Bank is considering Bitcoin. And there was an article in a Danish paper. So you can check it out. They are experimenting with Bitcoin. There was also a post on Bitcoin Talk Forum saying that he's a libertarian and he's a possible Bitcoin adopter. So Bitcoin Talk, Our Bitcoin, way ahead on this one, and we'll keep checking it out. What did you guys hear? Anything about Saxo Bank?
Nope.
Nope.
We've also got a comment from Francois. He says that no one is willing to pay you for the show yet, but wait until Bitcoin and crypto go mainstream. Then you guys will be superstars, getting interviewed on CNN. Don't sell out. We can't really sell out. No one's buying. Armando says, I traded live with Bonavest on his live streams. It was very valuable to have a team trading chat going on at the same time. Yes, Bonavest live streams were very cool. Unfortunately, he had to stop them. I can see why. It's very stressful doing an 8-hour show. It takes up a lot of your day. So I can see how that could wear on him. Plus, if you're trading, you always have to be winning. If you're not winning, it's a bit of a depressing.
And the average trader loses the equivalent of the expenses on their account over their lifetimes. Like, it's a pointless activity.
I've also got another comment. Go ahead, Theo.
If you're average.
Yeah, if you're average, yeah. Most people, lose. Most people.
Theo is not average. He has sunglasses.
Oh, yeah, right. Now I'm not average. Now I'm not average anymore. Right?
Exchangeinator.
Yeah.
Hyperglobal.
I'm designing my passport. Just a minute. So excuse me. I'm designing my. I'm gonna come up with a cool name for it. Hold on. Got to take the glasses off to think straight. There, hold on.
Can I buy shares in it? We have a scrolly website.
Yeah, scrolly. That's a cool. I like that. Scrolly, pumpy, scrolly. I love that. It's so good. Pumpy, scrolly. Yeah, this is just a. I mean, that could be like a coin or a website or something,
We've also got a comment from Bit by Bit. He says the Megan Lord show yesterday was way better than her first one. I think short shows are better. It's hard to watch an hour and 30 minutes sometimes. Short shows, more views, better metrics for YouTube's, more ads, more revenue for the channel. So I would agree. Try to keep it short. Maybe do a multi-part interview or break it up. Ask 2 or 3 questions. Come back again next week. I don't know. Maybe cut it up into parts. I'm not sure. Different ways to go. And we're out of questions. We're through the questions. So do you guys have anything else for the agenda? Are you about ready to close the World Crypto Network Town Hall meeting? Speaking of hour-and-a-half hangouts.
Yeah, I think we just like I just want to concentrate on this hacking stuff. I don't want to be guided by old-fashioned metrics like the KPIs and the money and shit, because I just don't think that that's important, and I'd rather just focus on what is important. And also, I suppose I've got an announcement. I've already said it on Twitter. I might not be able to do the Crisp Before Coffees anymore because, well, I won't give up on them altogether. Obviously, I'm definitely going to be back. It's just that I can't always guarantee as my living situation gets more unstable as I have less money because I'm basically drawing on my life savings. I am literally on a kamikaze mission. Like I've got nothing after this. I'm homeless, right? So I want to do this. I want to do the global passports. I want to do all of that stuff, but I can't do that and this because otherwise like I've always got to be in the same place on a Wednesday, and it's just not feasible. So I'm going to focus on the blockchain passports and still do these videos. I just won't be able to do them like at fixed times.
All right, looks like Theo's got his blockchain identification card. What do you got, Theo?
As you can see, this and the circle is where a photo or some kind of picture that represent would go. And there's the block height and the Merkle and name, and I'm just calling it IM. So just call it. Hey, do you have an IM? Yeah, I do. Here's my IM, and this is my cool logo right here, and this is lightning, and that is electricity, and that symbolizes the flow. And because currency and everything is flowing, then you need to have a symbol that represents that. I don't like symbols that are just like a lock or something. I don't know what is this like lock thing. This like I don't really get the BitNation thing. It's like a symbol of a lock. I don't get it. It's like prison. I don't want that.
I stole it off of Google Docs.
Anyway.
I've seen exactly the same shape on the Google Docs where you add a link to it. I think that's just where they got it from. So, according to Richard Scott in Skype, he's saying...
It's a clip art, maybe. It's like okay, it's a link. It's a link. It's a link. I get it. Yeah, but it just looks like, I don't know. It's just, hey, it's my opinion, whatever. I mean, you can see what kind of graphic artist I am, with my paintbrush. But what I really like about Paintbrush is that you can just do it really quick, like drawing. So I can, you can really show people ideas, really a mock-up. Okay, it doesn't look like the end product should look, but it's pretty quick.
Well, I've got a comment from Richard Scott in Skype. He's saying the term is parallax design, not scrolly. So what's the term for pumpy then? If it's not, it's parallax pump.
Parallax. That's great. Like the movie The Parallax View, where everything was a CIA conspiracy and there was all different levels and layers of things. Yeah, it's more like paralyzing design. Like it paralyzes any thought. Like there's no more thoughts when you look at this. You're like, maybe if I scroll more, I'll find the information. You're like, oh no, there's just bullet points. Oh no, it's just a giant text like a magazine. Oh, it's just an image of a field at sunset. There's no information. And you go up to the links, you're like, maybe there's some info in these links. You're like, oh, the links just take you about the page that I just scrolled through. There's nothing here. It's devoid. It's empty.
Parallax would be a good name for altcoin of the week.
Also a band. I'd go see a band named Parallax. Parallax, they rock. They throw hard. Parallax.
And don't forget the movie that you have to invest in as well. Don't forget that. And it's got to have like really pumpy music in it. You can't actually hear it. One sec. But listen to it. It's like, yeah, that's it. It's like,
I like that.
Investing in this. Just imagine.
Things are happening.
Hey, if anyone wants pumpy music, then just
that's it. You've got to invest now. Invest now. Hey, and if you want to know who's going to get rich out of this, let me show you. Here's the in crowd down here. There they are. This is the in crowd, and they're going to get rich at your expense.
Hey.
Yes. I'm only joking. They're good people.
They have square Wait a minute. They have square pictures. That's not allowed. You're only allowed to have.
Burning all our
You're
bridges.
only allowed to have circle pictures now. That's the
Making fun of
standard.
powerful people in the black and white photos. If they were really powerful, they'd have color photography.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but
if
anyway.
anyone wants any pumpy music, I'm here in the studio right now. Here we've got live. You know, just tell me what you need. You know, what kind of mood do you want? Do you want, you want to bring the people down and then bring them up, or do you want to, or do you want to go for more like a kind of like a just confuse them, or would you like me to do some kind of sound waves in the background that kind of lull you into just whatever the video text is saying? You know, you can put these kind of sound waves in the background that people just get kind of brain dead after they listen to it, and then they just kind of look at the video and they're not really thinking. I can also do that.
We've got breaking news from the Q&A. The Parallax is already a band. The Parallax, it's been a year since we released our debut album, Ubiquity of the Ecliptic. So much has happened as a result that we couldn't be more
Sounds
proud.
like a black metal band or something. That sounds really,
They look pretty
pretty-
hardcore.
pretty rough.
I think they could metal. Gustav, metal.
So what you do is you turn this one right here, and this is kind of like buying power, and this is another psychological knob here, and depending, you can achieve different. No, I'm just joking. I think that some of that music they probably just used a bunch of presets and they packaged it, really well, and a video. I mean, you can go on. Everybody knows. What is it? Code Canyon and Theme Forest, right? Well, there's also, I think even before Code Canyon was Audio Jungle. It's the same thing, but it's for music. And there you can get
Theo, stop playing with those knobs. You're making the price go down. Turn the price back up, Theo. Price up knob.
Here, this one.
No, we're going to go down to 270.
Wait a minute,
So
didn't you? You
350.
mean you didn't put in your margin? You didn't put your margin short in, then you would be okay. You've got to use the right technique.
I just sold all my tips. That's why it's going down. Oh, I'm looking at a scrolly website. Richard Scott has sent this in. Another in-group, another tribe, waiting to make money out of you. And they are.
Yeah, we got to get one of those websites with our picture on it. Nobody believes in us because we don't have our picture on our website.
Well, we can't even get our website running, can we? So. Oh.
Bit by Bit says Berserker, which is, of course, a Clerks reference. Olaf, metal. Olaf, metal, yes. Chris has been to where they filmed Clerks. I dragged him there. He
No,
wasn't
it's good.
interested at all.
I don't know. I was interested in it. What are you talking about? Don't lie. I was just tired after Michelle. Oh God. But yeah, it was good fun. I liked
You're not supposed to sleep when you're on vacation. You're supposed to go right through. 24/7, 365. You're just supposed to take a Red Bull. Gives you wings.
it. Yeah.
They had to pay on that. Well, I think we're about ready to end the town hall. It's almost 5 o'clock here on the West Coast. The only time that matters. It's Miller time for Chris. He's got a giant beer. Theo only has giant headphones. No beer. Despite being in Germany, right? Where's your beer, Theo? German people. Oh. It's Theo the Decepticon. He's really a robot. I would have expected.
Does this fit standards? If I talk like this all the time?
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hello.
Hey, this is for the bounty hunter. Then you can send the people the message. Like.
Give me your Bitcoin. Ha 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 ha.
I don't even want your Bitcoins anymore. I just want your nondescript tokens. I want token X. Send token X so that I can afford to buy token Y.
Just give me your Dogecoin address, and I'll send you some tokens.
Oh, yes. Counter Doge. Counter Doge and counter Doge. What if they made a counter party? Or a Doge counter Doge?
You can do that. We can do that,
Does it have
No one should do that. Don't.
We just
Stop
go-
it right away. Do not make Don't make a coin called Doge Party on Doge Party. Don't make a coin called Counterparty on Counterparty. And whatever you do, don't fork the Counterparty to be Doge Party, Doge Party. Do not fork these things. Let's stop being meta.
No, what you have to find
plans. The bit lost is spoken for you.
Find something successful and piggyback it.
Anonymous coins. That's the answer. Here we go. Has crypto exchange pioneer Pitbull ever done stand-up comedy?
Okay.
I don't even know what that means anymore. Pitbull's a musician, right? Bitcoin.
They mean this is exchange Pitbull right here. That's what they. This guy on Twitter named me. He's the guy that bought fee shares already.
He's heavily invested. He's a bag holder. He's out promoting you already, Theo.
Yeah, I know. So what was the question? If I did stand up?
Yeah.
No, not really. No, not really. I've not. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff, but I've not done officially stand up. I used to do, like poetry slam kind of stuff, but I just pretty much pissed on the audience and did stand up comedy instead.
A lot of comedians do piss on the audience, trying to get them.
I mean, I didn't really piss on them. I was just, made fun of them, basically.
The smell, like a lot of stand-up clubs have a drain in the center, and that's why. So you can piss on the audience.
Right.
It's very accessible. So tell us, Theo, why did the Bitcoin cross the road?
To get to the other side, I don't know. That's tough. I do have one crypto joke, but I don't know if you've already heard it because there's not that many.
We would love to hear a bit of crypto.
Hold on, I gotta think really hard. Hold on, wait a minute. How did the Bitcoiner become a pedophile?
Trick question. He's already a Bitcoiner, therefore he must be a pedophile.
No, he touched a minor.
I see what he did.
Wordplay. Armando says that those are high-frequency trading goggles.
Yeah, I need those for all the screens I've got here. Hold on, let me get my my high-tech trading screen here. See it? This is great.
That's where he keeps the exchange. It's a legendary.
Yeah, this is the whole exchange right here on the netbook.
It's in that netbook.
Yeah.
Chris, have you invested in a Theo's exchange?
No, it's a scam.
All of your funds.
No, it's not a scam. Everybody is going to get rich.
Parallax.
Everybody's going to get rich.
All together. We'll all be one big global community.
Now, hold on now. We're getting philosophical, right? So you're talking about, I'm rich because I live life to the fullest and I don't care about money and it's like about the quality of my life. Yeah, and that's what it is. See, the more people that invest, the more funny it is, the more fun everyone has, and then we are really rich because we have a great experience together. We are rich in experience.
They have a Kickstarter and they're like, we just don't want to work. We don't want to work anymore, so donate to our Kickstarter. We're the Washington Redskins. So
that's great. So
I think we should get Richard Scott to make us a parody parallax site. The parody parallax site where you invest in a fake World Crypto Network equity that doesn't even exist.
That's what I want to do.
Like hunting all over the web for it, going, how do I buy these World Crypto coins? My God. And he's made it all parallaxy, and we've got our pictures down the bottom all looking like really serious, like we're crypto consultants, yeah. We're going to drive your investments up 10x, yeah.
We have a combined 45 years of experience in this industry.
I love that. They do that. So many of them do that. It's like I've met companies in meetings before where they'll go like, we've got 45 years experience, and it's like, you don't even look like you're 30, mate. And it's like, no, combined. Like, what the fuck? But half of that was the same. You just spend every day doing the same thing.
Those are all the same years. You can't combine.
You need to have good titles because you can't just say, okay, CEO. Yeah, it sounds pretty important, but you need something better. Because I'm, Chief CSO, Chief Sound Officer, and so you need other titles that sound really important, like Chief Blockchain Investigator, so CBI, or etc. It sounds really nice, and you can redefine.
I'm into the CBI and the ETC. Those are my bureaus. I'm a CBI and ETC manager.
It sounds great. So I'm going to steal a joke from the questions section here. How many Bitcoiners does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
1 to change it, and at least 3 to confirm that it's been changed.
Waka, waka, waka.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're going to shut this down. Everyone should drink them if they got them. Rah, rah, rah. We're out of time. Until next time, World Crypto Network Town Hall meeting. Now I still have to edit that video. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.